Welcome in, Dynasty fam. Today going to be talking about some moves to make heading into NFL Week 4. Now, if you didn't catch our last week's video, be sure to check it out because we had a buy low in there and also talked about all the QB situations. So a lot of those things still apply, so be sure you check it out. I'll put it up right here. Now, getting straight into it, going to be an honorable mention. Jameis Winston, I think, is a good, decent little guy to stash right now, only 31% rostered. If some of these QBs that have limped in, like we saw Browning struggled week 1, if any of these QBs were to miss any more time and some of these fill-ins would continue to struggle, possibly there is an opportunity that a team would reach out to Winston and make its little trade, make a deal happen, and bring in Jameis Winston. So just a little dart throw, just a little stash for your bench. If you miss out on some waivers this week, stash yourself some Jameis Winston. And our other honorable mention that we did talk about, if the running back position were to change or the Minnesota Vikings were to bring in anybody, which they did in the off week, they brought in Cam Akers. He's only 19% rostered. And he also got some touches here in week 3, fresh off the practice squad. And he also played with them last year. So he's kind of been around, hanging around this Minnesota Vikings team. He gets 5 rushes for 19 yards, also got 1 target. So he was elevated from the practice squad. And you have the 30-year-old Aaron Jones right now nursing that hamstring injury. We'll see if he returns or when he returns. He's on the IR right now. Also, when he comes back, going to be at risk for re-aggravation as well. So I think Cam Akers is a decent stash right now. And heading into our number 7 play for our 7 moves to make, we have fallen still with the Minnesota Vikings. We talked about Zavier Scott last year. I think last week, I think he was our honorable mention, but he's only 23% rostered, UDFA in 2023. He was active this week. He gets 8 carries for 30 yards. Also like that he got a reception for 20 yards. So I think Zavier Scott, right now you have Jordan Mason did a great job in week 3 there in Minnesota, but he did get a lot of touches. Running back position is a lot of wear and tear on the body, very risky. So I think Zavier Scott is a good little handcuff to have right now. He got that reception for 20 yards. Maybe he could get worked in a little bit in the receiving game. But if he's out there, Zavier Scott, decent stash for your dynasty rosters. Now, at number 6, this is probably my favorite move for this week if he is out there on the waiver wire, but Oronde Gadsden, 53% rostered. He is a tight end, was a 5th-round draft pick. If he's still out there in your dynasty leagues, especially tight end premium leagues, I think Gadsden is a must-add. Disley misses week 3 with a knee injury. And Gadsden, just a 6'5", 235 big guy, converted wide receiver, so big slot guy. In limited opportunity, this is his first week that he suits out, only 15 routes, gets 6 targets on those 15 routes, 40% target rate. 5 receptions for 46 yards in his rookie debut. I really like Gadsden here in this Chargers offense. Herbert and this Chargers offense, guys, are humming right now. Gadsden looks like he could be a part of that future. So if he's still out there, definitely stash him. We'll see. I'm not sure how long this is going to be out there, but this was definitely promising for Gadsden and his outlook for the future. At number 5, we have Parker Washington, 33% rostered. Dyami Brown leaves the game with a shoulder injury. And there's no updates that I've heard of at this time, but Parker Washington, even with Dyami Brown in week 2, he had a decent stat line, 5 receptions for 76 yards. Only 24% of the snaps that week in week 2. 71% goes up once Dyami Brown leaves, so he definitely increases his snap share with the absence of Dyami Brown, gets 71% snap share, draws 11 targets, so only gets 4 receptions and 34 yards, so I think he still has a quiet night, but I do like that he got 11 targets, so I think he is worth a flyer if he is on your waiver wire. At number 4, we have a Dallas wide receiver. We have Jalen Tolbert, 37% rostered. Kevontae Turpin, 33% rostered. So CeeDee Lamb may miss a few weeks, guys, with an ankle sprain. It led to some more opportunity for Tolbert. He leads the wide receivers in routes run with 42. Pickens is a close second with 40, and Turpin gets 33 routes run. In that, Tolbert draws 6 targets, so not much fantasy production from those targets. 3 receptions for 24 yards. Really, Pickens and Ferguson are kind of the main beneficiaries, it seems like, without Lamb. Pickens gets 9 targets. Ferguson gets 14 targets. But Tolbert and Turpin should get an increase in opportunity in these next few weeks, depending on how much time that Lamb misses. Turpin, I think, he's a speed guy. I think they'll get him involved even on the ground, maybe scheme up some plays. So I think, either one of these guys, I think, are worth a dart throw here on your waiver wire heading into week 4. So if you guys are enjoying the channel, guys, be sure to like and subscribe. Follow us on the Discord and all social media links. And let me know, guys, also in the comments, what are some moves that you are making this week on your waiver wire, or even just in your dynasty leagues? Maybe some guys you're trying to buy, some guys you're trying to sell. Let me know in the comments. Now at number 3, we have add a Cardinals RB. So first up, we have Demarcadi, 10% rostered. Bam Knight also, guys. Zonovan Knight, 0% rostered. He is on the practice squad. Will more than likely get elevated, I think, for week 4. So Demarcadi going to be involved in the passing game, as we've seen in the past. Also, they use him in special teams. They've been using him as special teams right now, but I like Bam Knight even as a super deep stash. If you were to miss out on Demarcadi, then you can stash Zonovan Knight. Cardinals lose James Conner, going to be requiring surgery on his foot. We saw Bam Knight step in for Breece Hall a few weeks as a waiver wire must add. That was back in 2022. He's still been hanging around on practice squads, but back in the day, he was a stash on the waiver wire, did have a couple of weeks. So also this year, guys, he had a solid showing in preseason. So I think he's going to suit out in week 4. And I think he's someone you can get $0 bid, get him for free, and stash him and see what happens in week 4. At number 2, we have take a shot at an elite wide receiver. I think right now is the time that you can possibly make a play for one of these elite tier wide receivers. I think Lamb, Chase, Jefferson, possibly even Nabers coming off a really poor game. But I think this is a time where you can get one of these wide receivers at a discount. So Lamb going to miss multiple weeks, it seems like. Chase also with a down week, and there's not very much optimism for Browning after this week 3 showing. This game was pretty much abysmal for the Bengals. Vikings defense beat the brakes off of them. Jamar Chase goes 5 receptions for 50 yards, also gets a carry for 9 yards. Only 7.9 fantasy points this week for Jamar Chase. Not much better for T. Higgins, only 2.5 fantasy points for T. Higgins. I think he's also a good buy low. You probably could wait a couple more weeks still if you're not contending. I think Higgins is someone you can definitely try and buy low on. Only 5 points for Chase Brown. So ceiling is definitely not the same for Jamar and these Bengals without Joe Burrow. And I think you can get a small discount right now on Jamar. And if Browning continues to struggle, I think they'll bring someone else as well. They have a tough schedule the next few weeks. If you could sell like Collins or Collins plus, or even like Amari Hampton, people are excited about Amari Hampton right now. The opportunity he's going to get. If I can give Amari Hampton and a plus and tier up to Jamar Chase, I definitely would do that. Maybe also with Genty, if you could put Genty plus. I know he's been struggling, but some people still might be excited of the upside of Genty. I think as well the Jefferson optimism may be a little bit more for Jefferson with Wentz, but this week with all the defensive scoring that the Vikings had, JJ really had a quiet day with Wentz as well. He only goes 5 receptions for 75 yards. So people may be worried about McCarthy and how that has looked as well. But I would fill out the owners. When McCarthy comes back, I mean, people cannot be excited about what we've seen so far with McCarthy as a Jefferson owner. So if you could even make an upgrade on one of these dynasty assets, I think now is the time to do so. And I think you can get them for a small discount right now. Now at number 1, this is by Ladd McConkey. Speaking of discounted wide receivers right now. Now I love Keenan Allen, guys. He's a great wide receiver. He's off to a great start right now after 3 weeks. I'm not going to argue with you guys on whether he can keep it up or not. I think he can. He doesn't really win with speed. So, I mean, if he stays healthy, I think he can continue doing well this season, but he's also 33 years old, guys. He's missed time over the past 3 seasons. And then there's also questions, I guess, with QJ, you could say. Is QJ going to keep it up? QJ definitely looks good as well. This could possibly be a breakout year for QJ, but I think McConkey is the more certain, stable bet, in my opinion. And I think I'm willing to make that bet on McConkey. And even if we are wrong with that bet, I think Keenan Allen, guys, is still 33 years old. I don't think he will be a part of the future plans next year. So McConkey still next season, I would still be happy with McConkey, even if it didn't work out this year. But I think that it will swing in McConkey's favor very soon. I'm willing to bet on the young gun that we've seen that is a stud over QJ and over the aging Keenan Allen. So I think get yourself a discount and buy some Ladd McConkey heading into week 4. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know in the comments what you think about these plays. Also, what are some plays that you're trying to make, and be sure to like and subscribe.